I hope my son's antics don't disturb you.
Madam, were it in my power to sentence him to 30 days hard labor, they would not disturb me in the slightest.
Smashing day for it. On holiday?
No.
Oh, Leslie. It isn't true. Oh, beg pardon, ma'am.
Miss.
Yes, of course, yes. Have to be, wouldn't it?
Damn fool. I suppose I'll be expected to tend to his wounds after he piles up, and I don't fear that.
Mysterious package exchange. Now the better question is why did he race around that guy to get ahead of him, or
No
if
one
he
injured,
just stayed
at least.
behind him?
No apparent damage to the cars. Young fool must lead a charmed life.
If he'd stayed behind him, he wouldn't have gotten caught.
That's the lot. My money's on the servants. The servant's usually always the guilty one in the end.
Foreshadowing or misdirection?
Welcome to Sticklehaven, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Davis, the Harbour Master.
Sorry. Waiting for me.
That's everyone then. The other bags are already on board the boat there.
Blimey. It must be him. In the flesh.
All set, Narracot?
Ready, sir.
Right. I'll leave it to you then. Sea's calm. Should be a pleasant crossing. If you leave now, there's a squall coming. I can smell it.
Why is it called Shipwreck Island?
Well, the weather can turn nasty quickly. There are many submerged rocks, lots of wrecks hereabouts, and that big rock at the tip is said to resemble a beached schooner. The locals call it Ship Rock.
You're not from around these parts, then, Mr. Narracot?
No, sir, I'm not.
Looks like a boat.
It'll never work.
If you would be so good as to follow that path up to the house, my wife will show you to your rooms. I expect you'd all like to freshen up after your journey. Where's Fred?
Under the weather. I took his place.
You'd be the brother then. I see the resemblance. Will you help me with the bags?
Yes. I've been hoping to get a look at the house.
Would have had everybody bring their own dang bags up. It's a lot of
Chapter
stairs.
1. 10 little sailor boys went out to dine. One choked his little self, and then there were 9.
Pure poetry.
Thank you for your assistance, Mr. Narracot. Everything and everyone nicely in place. I must say I don't much like these clouds. I expect you should be heading back without delay.
Now it begins. Don't worry, Fred. I won't let you down. Just a drizzle. It's going to get much worse.
Not sure how it begins now when you're heading back, but...
I can see the jetty from here. The grass is slippery and the slope is steep. I'd best stick to the path.
Sounds like a brilliant idea. Back in the olden days where everything was click to play.
No, these rocks are too precarious to climb. I'd better stick to the path.
Oh yes, I planned on climbing
No.
the rocks.
These rocks are too precarious to climb. I'd better stick to the path.
Apparently it just says the same thing for every rock. There is no shift to run. Walk slowly to them.
Scuttled. I wonder who would have done such a thing.
I wonder when they would have done such a thing, because we were down here getting the luggage. Back up we go. Will it let me deviate from the path? Ha ha, I can. Okay, well, we're gonna go back to the front first. Just because common sense says we gotta go talk to this guy. Why is he still standing outside? We supposedly left.
Mr. Narracott, why are you still on the island?
Someone scuttled my boat.
Scuttled? Wrecked, you mean? But who on earth would do such a thing?
I intend to find out.
But that means, who will come for us on Monday?
Unless this storm lets up, no one.
Dear me, dear me. Come in, come in. You'll catch your death out here. I must help my wife prepare dinner. I'll have her fix you up something in the kitchen.
Thank you.
How pleasant. So you're just gonna let me wander
Where he's
around?
going to sleep, I'll never know. Ethel won't like this one bit.
It's a big house. Surely there's a spare room. Like how we're just gonna wander around aimlessly. Guess we're looking for clues. I can steal some glasses. That's odd.
I shouldn't do that. I need to have my wits about me.
Weird thing to need. Glasses.
It's got power, but it still doesn't seem to be working.
Well, because it's missing components. Where are all the people that we just dropped off? Now we're just walking around stealing stuff. Okay, this is the little poem the entire game is based off of. Can we go in here? Yes, we can. Ah, the dining
Place
room.
for everything and everything in its place.
So tidy.
Ten little sailor boys. Charming.
Clear theme happening. Nothing? Nothing interesting? Guess we'll try this door.
It'll never work, I tell you. We should never have agreed. A house party only a week after we arrive? And no other help?
Ethel, calm yourself.
You promised me. Never again, you said.
How was I to know? Oh, Mr. Narracott. Ethel will be preparing you a meal in here once the guests are served.
I mean, shouldn't I count as a guest? It's kind of rude not to include me. Am I just taking more things over here? Yeah, we're just grabbing stuff.
It's a
and
sturdy
taking it.
cast iron stove.
I'm sure we'll need these things for something. just stealing a bunch of stuff?
I don't need it. And I'm good
Oh,
background.
oh, you don't need that, but you need all the
Don't
other
need to
random
all
stuff.
unnecessary attention to my snooping.
I'm not sure how that cheesecloth is going to tell us who wrecked our boat.
It's a press. Looks like it can hold quite a large amount of fruit.
Fancy. Well, I guess that's the kitchen for you. Guess we're just gonna keep
The
looking.
refrigerator hardly seems large enough for a house of this size.
Maybe they have another one downstairs in the basement.
The refrigerator hardly seems large enough for a house of this size.
Go through this door. Ah, small, tiny little room.
It's a painting of a flower. Looks like a water lily.
We're looking for evidence of who scuttled our boat. And apparently just picking up people's random stuff as we go along. Stealing mail. I don't know if this quantifies as a... Let's see what we got. Roger's letter of invitation.
I copied the contents into my notebook. I copied the contents into my notebook.
Okay, so those disappear after we put them in our notebook. Let's see. House party, 8 guests. They're coming on Friday. Ulrich Norman Owen is apparently who is hosting this shindig. Delay letter. Mrs. Owens and I will be detained in London this evening. Please do the best you can in our absence. Please play the side label. Okay, so there's a record these people are supposed to play. Seems odd. Instructions. But nothing that says who wrecked my boat. Once again, we're just wandering around this house, snooping. Oh, we can talk to somebody.
Would you just look at all these silk sheets? All embroidered GS. I'll bet that was that actress who used to live here. And I've dropped them on this filthy floor.
Well, I'm off. Let's help her
Can I
out.
give you a hand, Mrs. Rogers?
Thank you, Mr. Narracott. You seem like a good sort. I'm sorry for your boat.
Well, you know, the floor wouldn't be filthy if you'd cleaned it. Since you're the maid, I'm assuming that would have been your job. This is like the back entrance to the upper level. Very, ritzy people.
Locked.
Just trying doors here. Ooh, oh, a bathroom. Anything worth seeing in the bathroom? No? Nothing? Alright, well, let's see if we can go in here.
It's locked fast.
As one would hope. We're just sneaking into people's rooms over here.
A radiator. You can't have enough of them, really.
Seems a little absurd that we're just walking around stealing stuff. Let's see what his letter says.
I copied the contents into my notebook.
Armstrong's letter. So he is a doctor. Wife health appears to be deteriorating. She has for many years been plagued with arthritis. Won't see a doctor. He's paying him to essentially pretend he's here for an event. Fascinating.
Nothing out of order in here. I'd best not take anything, though. I'm sure he would notice. It's tightly locked.
And see, it's locked, but we're on the inside of the room, so common sense says you should be able to unlock that door. But I guess we're not gonna do that. Alright. Let's see who else's room we can snoop in. Not seeing any evidence of...
This clock has stopped.
Ooh, fancy. Guess I forgot to wind it this morning.
Polished marble spheres and some books. Nothing worth investigating further.
Let's read this guy's letter.
I copied the contents into my notebook.
This random wire basket we have. That's something we needed to prove who. Blore's letter. Ex-CID man and now private detective. You can highly recommend it to me. Wife's jewels. She simply won't keep them locked in the safe, and the house party we're having coming up has got me worried. I can tell you your instructions are as follows. Join the house party my wife and I are having this weekend, August 8th on Shipwreck Island. Posed as a guest. Dr. Edward Armstrong and Harley Streetman, quite well thought of, I believe. Emily Brent, a spinster lady of strong moral beliefs. Vera Claythorne, wife's new secretary. Philip Lombard, something of an adventurer. General Mackenzie, a retired military man. Anthony Marston, the sportsman, younger son of minor dukedom. Long way from worthwhile title. Judge Wargrave, recently retired. They are okay. They're his wife's guests. So apparently he doesn't want to have this adventure. There's a butler and a housekeeper. Hired them through Regina Agency in Plymouth. They seem trustworthy enough, but who knows? Keep an eye on all of them, and the jewels I'm sure my wife will have on display at every possible opportunity. Standard retainers enclosed. Ulrich Norman. Fascinating. I guess we'll just keep snooping. Ah, yes, we got the cards. Lovely.
Once a bent copper, always a bent copper. Right, Fred?
You're talking through your hat. You were the Purcell gang's inside man on the force, not my brother.
Your brother? Don't try to kid me, Fred. There's still a handsome reward out for you.
Fred is my brother. I'm Patrick Fane.
No reason for me to believe you that I can see. There's still a big reward out for Fred Fane.
You scuttled my boat to trap me here.
You recognized me, too. I saw it in your eyes.
Only because Davis showed Fred the passenger list yesterday. I came in my brother's place. We didn't think you might mistake me for him. Fred is 8 years older than me. Look closely, Blore.
You do look young. I noticed that. Thought it must be the sea air.
You were taking the Purcells' bribes for years. After the Landor case, people began to ask questions. The Purcells needed what the Yank detective novels call a fall guy. My brother was framed. You were in the clear.
Your whole story sounds like a detective novel.
I've never stopped trying to clear Fred's name and put you in Dartmoor prison where you belong. Thanks to your greed, I may now have that chance.
Maybe you're Patrick, maybe you're Fred. I don't know, and I don't much care. You're either a criminal, or you've been harboring one all these years. I wonder what my fellow guests will think of that. Go on, Mr. Narracott. Hop it. I need to prepare for dinner.
It sounds like he's harboring a criminal if he's the guilty guy. Shouldn't snoop anymore since he's in there. Let's see. Oh, keyhole. Shall we be creeps or shall we knock on the door like appropriately? I guess we'll check the keyhole. This is what you do. I mean, we already know who scuttled the boat now. Yeah, that's a standard thing you bring on a trip. Must be from Texas.
Narracott? I thought you'd be long gone by now. That storm's getting pretty fierce.
Somebody scuttled my boat.
I saw Blore watching you like a hawk eyes its dinner. Could it have been him?
Possibly.
Any idea why?
I'd rather not say.
Well,
Suit yourself.
you already found out.
I'd better get ready for
he
dinner.
already basically admitted it. So I guess we're just bothering people for no reason now?
Oh, Mr. Narcott, I thought that you'd left us.
Someone scuttled my boat.
Oh, but that's dreadful. Surely the harbour master will send another boat when you're missed.
Not in this storm, I'm afraid. And even then, it won't be reported.
Why ever not?
My brother. He knew I might not be immediately back.
I'm terribly sorry for your trouble. The Owens should be arriving shortly. I'm sure you can get a ride back in that boat. If you'll excuse me, I must get ready for dinner.
Let's see who else we can bother today.
Yes? Oh, Mr. Narracott, I had a question for you. Have you heard anything in Sticklehaven about this house being set up as a guest house?
No, Miss Brent.
No. Mrs. Rogers hasn't either. And who are the Owens?
I haven't met them yet.
Would it surprise you to learn neither have Mr. and Mrs. Rogers? It's odd. Very odd. If you'll excuse me, Mr. Narracott, I must make dinner preparations.
I think it's odd. No one thinks it's odd that we're busy knocking on people's doors. And peeping through keyholes. So sad.
My wife is indisposed, not receiving visitors today.
Your wife, sir?
What?
Your wife?
My wife, yes. Leslie. I'm sorry, my boy. I was wool gathering, miles away. My apologies. Must dress for dinner now. Send my orderly to me, if you will. No, that's not right. What was I thinking? I must get ready for dinner now.
Poor guy. Barely losing his mind a little bit. We keyhole anything?
Locked.
Keyholes are locked. Oh, that's the one we came out of earlier.
It's tightly locked.
Oh yeah, and then this is the bathrooms. This is where we were. Okay, well I guess we can go downstairs casually, like we haven't just snooped through everybody's room.
You're shot, Judge.
Yes. You haven't left me much, I confess.
I knew judges listened to confessions. I never knew they made them as well.
Oh, some judges may have cause. Some doctors as well, I expect.
That sounds like the dinner bell.
Mr. Narracott, unfortunately, we are not prepared for your presence at dinner. I would be most happy to deliver you a sandwich later this evening, if that will do.
That will be fine, Rogers. Thank you.
Excellent. Now, if you will excuse me, I must get to serving.
So you're telling me
By all means.
they have exactly enough food just for the people that are
I can
there.
hear them all in the dining room chattering. I can't quite make out what they're saying. This might be a good time to explore the house more thoroughly.
Explore more thoroughly. We just snooped in everyone's room. I guess we'll go in the rooms of the people that were in their room when we got there. Nobody thinks it's weird that we, like, already know that Bloor guy's the one that wrecked the boat, but we're still trying to figure out what's happening. Oh,
These are very expensive linens. I bet they're very strong.
Okay, we're just stealing now. We just stole some sheets for no reason. Well, let's see whose room we can get into. We couldn't get into earlier.
I don't need to lug this around with me.
The things they decide we don't need versus the things we do is quite hilarious. Oh, yep, steal that pipe.
I don't think going through that would help. Either he's innocent, in which case I'd be grossly invading his privacy, or he's guilty, and surely wouldn't be daft enough to leave any evidence in his luggage.
I mean, luggage is a good place to leave evidence. Most people wouldn't go through it for that very reason. Alright, whose room are we in now? Wargrave.
I copied the contents into my notebook.
Let's see why Wargrave is here. Right, dearest Lawrence. So he must know him personally. Purchased a house. Communing with nature. Okay. Alright, so this is just, Constance Colmington. So this isn't the same person that the Ulrich person that's been writing the other letters. Interesting.
It's a marble sculpture of an elephant.
It is a marble sculpture of an elephant. Yeah, I thought there was something over here I could take. Since we're just stealing stuff. Yep, straight up. A pouch of tobacco. Okay. But we don't need the dish. Okay. Alright, balcony. Very nice. Flamingos. Okay, so here's the bathroom. I think we were in this bathroom earlier. And I think this is that other guy's room that we were in. Yeah, this is the doctor's room. I have to remember what order these rooms are in, and a bathroom connects those. Okay, so it goes stairs, the what do you call it? Servant stairs, wardrobe's room, bathroom, and then Armstrong's room. I don't remember if we went in this one or not. We did. Oh, but he's downstairs now, so let's go grab that journal. That it wouldn't let me grab it here. Cool. Lord's notebook.
I transcribed the pertinent passages in my notebook.
Oh, and we're just not gonna put it back? Okay, that's cool. He won't notice that missing at all. That's probably a bathroom. Yeah, bathroom. Oh, little pelican, so cute. Nice house. Alright. Let's see whose room we are in here.
It would certainly be noticed if I rifled through his luggage. I better not.
But stealing all of the random... I cannot get over this. This is hilarious. Okay, whose room are we in? Let's find out.
I copied the contents into my notebook.
We are... Lombard. Captain Lombard. Formal agreement between us, as mentioned by telephone, is understood by my client that you are a resourceful man and type places you proved several years ago in East Africa and more than a few times elsewhere in various other corners of the world. You may rest assured my client knows your accomplishments very well. I am empowered to pay you the enclosed 100 guineas in return for which you will travel to Sticklehaven, Devon on August 8th. Blah, blah, there. Hold yourself at the disposal of my client. Archibald Morse, solicitor. Grays in Lombard. Which one's Lombard? No idea. Okay, this is... No, that's the... Okay, yeah, that's the bathroom door. This is the main door. Putting ourselves in corners over here. Whose room is this? Everyone's just leaving their letters out. I know when I go on vacation, I leave my letter lying around.
I copied the contents into my notebook.
Or just read the letter. Copy the contents. What do we got? Who showed up now? Claythorne. Ah, Miss Claythorne. Okay, this is that chick with the purple dress. I've received your name from the Skilled Women's Agency together with their recommendation. I understand they know you personally. I shall be glad to pay you the salary you ask and shall expect you to take up your duties. Train. Okay, so she... Una Nancy Owen. Ulrich and Una. That just sounds like fake names, and I believe they probably are. Oh, we're gonna look at Blor's notebook real quick. These are the names. Philip Lombard. I still can't find this Lombard guy. I don't know which one he is. Because that's the general with the forgetfulness. Oh, he must be that other British chap. Lombard must be the... No, maybe he's the guy with the gun. I don't remember. We'll have to figure it out. Okay, flourishing, practice on Harley Street. Okay, this is all the stuff we kind of read about each one of them. Let's see. Missed up early in his career. Highly regarded by colleagues and patients. Unlikely immigrant spinster. Scandal attached to one of her former serving girls. Mayor Claythorne, a former governess, until a charge died in her care. Unsuccessfully tried to find teaching position. As a secretary. Philip Lombard. Checkered army career, something of a mercenary, enjoys living higher. He can afford, probably wouldn't hesitate. Larceny. Long retired, distinguished army record. His wife and young officer later died in action in the Great War. Wife also deceased. Marston, a rich brat. Youngest son. Playboy. Justice Lawrence Wargrave, distinguished, private, and respected. Thomas and Ethel Rogers, former employer died. On them, but their inheritance wasn't much. So, no charges brought, most likely suspects jewels go missing, their new servants picked dictation. I'm down here for a bit of work. Who do I find? Ericott. I don't think he recognized me. I feel like that's a mistake, because it says Narracott, but he literally said his name was Fane. We only saw each other for a couple times. So, warrant for his arrest. Not tied to reward too. I'll have to track him around the island where I can get my eye on him. Need to put the boat out of commission before he finishes bringing it back. Okay, so it's absolutely certain that the Lord did it, which we kind of already know. But...
I'd almost swear I recognize that chap. Does he have the eyes of a killer?
I don't know. So no one's died yet, but I feel like a lot of this is like preemptively going. I mean, we know someone's gonna die. It's a mystery game.
I copied the contents into my notebook.
Just feel like someone would have died already. Newspaper. I found a newspaper clipping in Vera's bedroom. It reads as follows. On August 12, 1935, Cyril Hamilton, age 8, was drowned in a swimming accident off the coast near Plymouth. He was being watched by his governess, Miss Vera Claythorne, but swam out too far before he could be stopped. Police questioned her and the child's brother, Hugo Hamilton, age 24, who was also present at the time. Both were found innocent of any negligence. Goes on to mention funeral arrangements and dress. None of that is my concern. Harsh. Nothing.
That's an interesting clock. A shame it doesn't seem to work.
So, none of the clocks seem to be working. It's an odd thing to not have working. Then again, if the house just opened up, I guess you wouldn't have had time to run around and do all the clocks. Purple bedroom. Very pretty. You know, you would think this would be that Vera girl's bedroom. Whose is this? Whose room is this? I see a makeup case, so I'm going to assume it's the other girl, which would be Emily.
This is quite a makeup supply.
Oh, yes.
Emily must be more concerned with aging than she lets on.
Let's see why she's here.
I copied the contents into my notebook.
I like how we just stole her Bible. Let's see. Brett's letter. Together in Bellhaven's guest house in August. Starting a guest house of my own. Plain. There's a good plain cooking, a nice old-fashioned type of person. I'd be very glad if you could see your way to spending your summer holiday as a guest. You and Owen. No.
It would be incredibly improper for me to go through a lady's luggage. I won't do it.
Cool. So improper. Alright. How many more rooms we got? Oh, this must be the, general guy's room. Recognized it from the peephole.
It appears to be a portrait of the general. Must be quite old. He's standing with a very young woman. It's signed, "To John, my husband, Leslie."
Oh, so sad. Okay, so his room literally has nothing, or am I just... Ah, there's the letter. And why are you here, Mr. John?
I copied the contents into my notebook.
Yeah, Mackenzie. Okay. I have a little house party here on Shipwreck Island. People he knows are supposedly supposed to be here. Also not clearing the air. Owing you an apology. Beyond the weather is lovely time of year. I'm sure I could promise you a relaxing, entertaining weekend. If you've heard of the rumors, they're true. Island was used by Admiralty before we bought it. It's all very hush-hush. Take the train. Again, you and Owen. Alright. I think this is almost all the rooms. This is the bathroom.
I see nothing remarkable.
I see nothing remarkable.
I see nothing remarkable.
Then why do you let me look at it? There's nothing to see.
I see nothing remarkable.
You really see nothing. Nice pink tones. Whose room are we in now? Alright. It's a really close-up view of the briefcase there. What we got going over here? What are we stealing now? This is a telegraph!
I copied the contents into my notebook.
A lot of reading. Let's see. It's newspaper clipping. Marston's telegram. Okay. I guess this is his invitation. Badger Berkeley.
Nothing else to see about that.
Then why can I look at it? Maybe it'll... Ooh, I can open this. What's this? Code-breaking cipher.
This could use a closer look.
Yes, it could. King James, Song of Solomon, 3. Okay. I guess we'll find a code to break later. Oh, no, I forgot the letter. Go back in. Go back in. My bad. Let's read. Oh, it's a coded message.
This bears a closer look.
Oh my. Guess we're gonna need those codes for something eventually. Not really sure what, but I'm sure we'll find out. I don't feel like we've quite had enough of the storyline to develop that would warrant us already snooping in everybody's room, but, you know. Here we are, snooping away. I do find it ridiculous that they literally had just enough food for the guests, because there's no way you planned on making just enough food for everyone to have exactly one plate of food. I mean, I guess you could. But still, usually there's leftovers. Okay, I've already been in here. I was actually trying to get back to the kitchen. That's the bathroom. Don't know where I am. All these doors look alike. Okay, so I guess it's this way. Ah, yes, that's the door. That's the door that swings. Can I eavesdrop? Yes. Let's eavesdrop, shall we?
Aha! With my ear against the door, the conversation becomes quite clear.
Wine, Doctor?
No, thank you, Rogers. I never touch alcohol. Except for sterilizing wounds or instruments, of course.
I tried to collect some apples from an orchard on the island, but a bee stung me. I'm afraid I dropped the basket and ran. No need to apologize. I myself am dreadfully allergic to bees, wasps, hornets. I'm sorry to hear there are bees here. Oh, you must take care. There's all sorts of those bee house things. What do you call it?
An apiary.
Oh, I thought that was for monkeys.
Ethel!
Miss Claythorne, we've never met, but I do seem to recall your name.
Oh?
Yes, from when I stayed at that stuffy old hotel near St. Trednick. Do you know it?
No. No, I don't think so.
Really? How extraordinary. I was so shocked.
Narracott says he's not Fred Fane, but his brother. It may well be, but he bears watching.
Seems like such a nice man.
They said the same thing about Stevenson, the child murderer. I confess I've never met our host, Mr. Owen. What kind of a man is he? Rogers?
We haven't seen the Owens either, sir. We were only engaged a week ago by letter and asked to make the house ready.
So no one has actually met the Owens.
How extraordinary.
I, for one, will have some sharp questions for the Owens when they do arrive.
So persnickety. Can we listen again, or I feel like if I listen again, it'll just repeat it. Not really sure what we're supposed to be doing. People are eating. We are.
It won't help my brother if I'm drowned in the storm.
Okay, well, we explored the house. Maybe we didn't explore enough of the house. I think we went into all the rooms. Again. Let's go this way. Okay, this is like the entryway. Maybe we have to go explore some more of the house somewhere. Maybe we can go in here.
It's locked fast.
Lots of locked doors, considering everyone was in the kitchen. Or dining room, I should say. Ooh, steady.
It's a book holder. Seems like a long time since it's been used. A rather beautifully made globe of the world.
Strong currents make these waters unsafe for swimming. Shipwreck Island. That's where we are. Huh? Oh, we can steal a book. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Let's just...
Wargrave on Justice. I can only imagine the egotism that lurks within those pages.
So he owns a book that that Wargrave guy has written. This is fascinating. Let's see. It's just... Oh, just gonna take a lamp. That makes sense. Alright.
The drawer's locked.
Guess we'll have to find a key. Oh, we're just collecting all of the things. Alright, let's see what we got. Map of Shipwreck Island, a card.
Let me examine this further.
Powerful friends. Want to shine some light on the matter? Flowery speeches may win you a few friends. Cool. Ink pad, ink stamp. We have a lamp, a roll of cello tape. All things we will need at some point. Well, which one of you books are gonna open a secret passage? Nope, just another book. Okay, we're just taking all the books, I guess. I really like to read. Safe passage. Can I look at it?
I transcribe the pertinent passages in my notebook.
Okay. So I guess I have to transcribe.
I transcribe the pertinent passages in my notebook. I transcribe the pertinent passages in my notebook. Property of Teresa Robson. I transcribe the interesting passages into my notebook. I see nothing remarkable.
We already transcribed all that. What did we transcribe? Herding on Devon shore, navigating the Panama Lock, safe passage, sailing. Okay, so I'm assuming these things will probably help us decipher various items. Leisurely hunt on the placid shore. Well, I'm sure that will all be relevant at some point. Can I take this book too? I can.
I transcribed the pertinent passages in my notebook.
History of symptoms. So at some point, I guess that will become relevant.
That looks like the jetty here on the island. He looks quite happy. She a little less so.
She was probably cold. Can you imagine going to somebody's house and just going through all of their
Normally,
stuff
I
for
would
no
never
reason?
violate someone's privacy this way. However, given the circumstances, I will examine the entries for clues and transcribe any passages I find pertinent.
So I feel like somehow we have started the investigation for the inevitable murder that's
The storm
happening.
is kicking up something fierce. Besides, my time would be better used snooping around inside at the moment.
Because we know someone's going to be murdered. Obviously. So I don't know how we get to that, or why we're looking at stuff before they're murdered. So keep that in perspective while we're snooping. That it is supposed to be because of a murder that hasn't
I
actually
shouldn't do
happened
that.
yet.
I need to have my wits about me.
But I can't figure out how to trigger the murder. If I figured it would have already triggered it. Okay, we've already been through all the rooms. Let's try to see if it'll let us go into the dining room unannounced. If not, I think that means I might have missed a room upstairs, unfortunately. Whoops. And we will have to go back through and we'll just speed run through all the rooms.
Aha! With my ear against the door, the conversation becomes quite
I really
clear.
hope this conversation isn't repeated.
Did anyone else see the poem over the fireplace?
10 little sailor boys? Yes, I saw it.
And here before us as the centerpiece of our table are the 10 little sailor boys themselves, all looking correct and polished.
I like a neat and tidy house, Your Honor.
Robson, the man who built this house, was a sailor. Perhaps Mr. Owen inherited them from him.
Another question for Mr. Owen.
As I remember, the rhyme was about soldier boys. Highly inappropriate, as I recall.
There are many variations.
You seem to know quite a bit about it, Miss Claythorne.
I was a governess before seeking secretarial work. Governesses spend a lot of time with nursery rhymes.
All gratuitously gruesome, if you ask me. So much violence in the world today.
Sometimes violence is necessary, Miss Brent.
There speaks a soldier for you.
A realist, Miss Brent, not a dreamer. If action needs to be taken, I, for one, am fully prepared to take it.
How does the famous rhyme go, Miss Claythorne?
Must we harp on this topic at dinner?
Miss Brent may be right, Mr. Marston. The rhyme is a bit gruesome. It's there over the fireplace in the parlor if you care to have a look later.
If you think so. Excellent meal, Rogers. My compliments to both you and your good woman. You've done your employers proud.
Thank you, sir, ladies and gentlemen. Most gratifying, I'm sure. After dinner drinks will be served in the front parlor.
Okay, finally. Guess we just had to
Ladies
listen
and
to it
gentlemen, silence please. This is your host, UN Owen. You are charged with the following indictments. Edward George Armstrong, that you did upon the 14th day of March 1925 cause the death of Louisa Mary Cleese. Emily Caroline Brent, that upon the 5th of November 1931 you were responsible for the death of Beatrice Taylor. William Henry Blore, that you brought about the death of James Stephen Landor on October 10th, 1928. Vera Elizabeth Claythorne, that on the 11th day of August 1935 you killed Cyril Ogilvy Hamilton. Philip Lombard, that upon a date in February 1932 you were guilty of the death of 21 men. members of an East African tribe, John Gordon Mackenzie, that on the 4th of January 1917, you deliberately sent your wife's lover, Arthur Richmond, to his death. Anthony James Marston, that upon the 14th day of November last, you were guilty of the murder of John and Lucy Combs, Thomas Rogers, and Ethel Rogers. That on the 6th of May, 1929, you brought about the death of Jennifer Brady, Lawrence John Wargrave. That upon the 10th day of June, 1934, you were guilty of the murder of Edward Seaton. Prisoners at the bar, have you anything to say in your defense?
Doctor!
I only fainted, Rogers. I'm sure she'll be fine. Narracott, will you get my bag from my room?
Yes, of course.
Stout fellow. Marston, in a moment I'll want help to get her to her room. Of course. Behind the kitchen, is it, Rogers?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. You can use that door.
Yes, I know exactly where your bag is, because I've already snooped in your room. The question is, am I going to remember which room is his? I believe... I know that was the bathroom. I think his is over here. Already trying to... I think it's this one. So it sounds like everyone's guilty of something, and they're all here. Everyone seems to have murdered somebody. I'm sure these circumstances are vague and accusatory, so I'm sure we're gonna have to siphon through who murdered whom. Are they still here? No. Okay. Let's get to the servants' quarters. Doors. Yeah, I guess it is. Bring him his doctor's bag.
Perhaps we can talk later. For now, I must see to my patient.
You asked me for the doctor's bag. Do you not want it now? Oh, I gotta literally have it in my hand.
Thank you, Mr. Narracott. I am in your debt. Perhaps we can talk later. For now, I must see to my patient.
Well, I guess he's gonna see to his patient. We'll leave him be. Let's see if we can go... Okay, that's the kitchen... This way. Let's go back to the parlor and see if we can question anybody about their accusations.
Now, Rogers, tell us about that extraordinary voice.
It was Mr. Owen, sir. In his letter, he wrote to me to put it on the gramophone once you were all settled in here after dinner.
That was Mr. Owen's voice?
You doubt that it was?
No. I thought I recognized it. I'm sure I'm mistaken.
Suspicious?
A disgraceful practical joke.
You think it was a joke?
What else could it be?
I will need to hear more evidence before offering an opinion.
Mr. Marston and I carried Mrs. Rogers to her room. I gave her a mild sedative. She's resting comfortably.
Whoever it was on that recording, that person knows or has taken the trouble to find out a good deal about us all. He was correct about Seaton. I presided at the trial, but all I did was execute a guilty man.
I remember the case. As I recall, there was some talk.
Happily, guilt and innocence are decided by those of us qualified to make a judgment, not by gossip. Of course, there is one omission in that recording. Mr. Narracott, of course. Although to hear Mr. Blore tell it, he might have earned a place on that list had Mr. Owen been so inclined.
Well, I wasn't supposed to be here, so I wouldn't have been on the recording. Okay, cool. We get to talk to these people now and figure out what they think. I want to know more about the Sun
What
case.
was the gossip concerning the Seaton case?
Seaton?
I'm not one to spread gossip to just anyone about a man as distinguished as Justice Wargrave. If I was certain about it, perhaps. But I'm not.
Well, okay, what about
Any
you?
truth to the accusation against you?
It's a matter of interpretation, you understand. But I'd have to say, yes.
Will you tell me how it happened?
Elderly woman. Poor devil. I'd been up all night with an emergency case. My nerves were shot, hands shaking. But I had to operate. I had to try and save her. I had a pick-me-up or two to steady myself, but
There it is.
I bungled it. It wasn't the drink, I swear. It was an accident. Could have happened to anyone in my profession.
Yes, if you hadn't been drinking, then you wouldn't be guilty.
What brought you here to Shipwreck Island?
Owen sent me a note, asking me to have a look at his wife, who's been suffering from arthritis and muscle spasms.
That is all for now, Dr. Armstrong.
So he's a doctor, and he's accused of killing someone that he claims was an accident, and technically it would have been, but he was drinking, so therefore... Alright, what about you?
Any truth to the accusation against you?
The name sounded vaguely familiar. I expect it will come to me.
What brought you here to Shipwreck Island?
Got a wire from a pal of mine, Badger Barkley. Surprised me at the time because I had an idea the old horse had gone to Norway. Told me to roll up here.
That will be enough, Mr. Marston.
Yes, we're well aware of that telegraph because we also snooped through your room.
Any truth to the accusation against you?
There isn't a word of truth in it. Miss Brady was always in poor health. Always. From the time we came to her.
Will you tell me how it happened?
There was a storm, as fierce as the one brewing outside right now when she was taken bad. The telephone was out of order. I went for the doctor on foot, but he got there too late.
Were you mentioned in the will?
Barely. Certainly not what we were led to believe. She was just saying it, you see, to ensure our devotion to her. Beg pardon. I'm not sure what came over me just then. The strain of tonight, I expect, and worry over Mrs. Rogers, of course.
What brought you here to Shipwreck Island?
Isn't that obvious, sir? My wife and I were hired through an agency in Plymouth. Manservant, housekeeper, cook, that's what we are.
Good evening, Mr. Rogers.
Alright, so they may have killed their person just because, let's be honest, it's always the butler. But they probably actually didn't kill the person. Marston's questionable because he didn't really answer the question, and I don't trust the judge whatsoever.
Any truth to the accusation against you?
I remember Seaton perfectly well. Playwright, not a very good one. Charged with the murder of a chorus girl. He was very ably defended and made a good impression on the jury. Nevertheless, it was clear to me he'd done it.
I appreciate your candor, Judge.
Based off of what? And I thought a jury is supposed to determine it. Interesting.
Any truth to the accusation against you?
About that child, Cyril Hamilton. I was nursery governess to him.
Will you tell me how it happened?
I'd like to tell you. Cyril was forbidden to swim out far. One day, my attention was distracted. I couldn't get there in time. It was awful. But it wasn't my fault.
Well?
At the inquest, the coroner exonerated me.
By definition.
Oh, Mother, she was so kind. If she didn't blame me, why should this awful thing be said?
Are you sure you're telling me everything?
I'm telling you all I'm going to, Mr. Narracott.
Well, by definition, your attention was distracted, so, like, while you didn't drown him by any means, as a governess, you probably shouldn't have paid
What brought you here to Shipwreck Island?
Just
I was engaged through an agency to be Mrs. Owen's secretary. Nothing remarkable in that, is there?
A good evening to you, Miss Claythorne.
I like how we're
Stay safe.
asking these questions, but we already snooped through their rooms and read their letters on why they're here. And we're acting like we just don't know.
Any truth to the accusation against you?
Fellow got hold of a detestable rumor, nothing more. Arthur Richmond was one of my officers. I sent him on a reconnaissance, he was killed. Natural course of events in wartime.
Thank you, General.
How very, Oh, what's the story I'm thinking of? David and Bathsheba people, her husband, sent him to war. Got him killed.
Any truth to the accusation against you?
Owen did his research well. The accusation is absolutely true. I don't see that you've earned the right to any details, though.
Right. So he's just admitting he killed people.
Will you tell me how it happened?
Oh, it was written up in the papers at the time. A story of self-preservation, pure and simple. A hunting party lost in the bush. The great white hunter checks the food supplies, assesses his chances, and clears out on his own.
Leaving 21 men to die.
Not very Puka Sahib, I'm afraid.
What brought you here to Shipwreck Island?
Owen's attorney, a man named Archibald Morris, rang up one day. Wanted to give me 100 guineas to join this house party. I was to put myself at Owen's disposal in case my rather specialized talents were required.
And what are your specialized talents, sir?
What specialized talents would those be?
You might say I'm a good man in a scrap.
That'll be all, Mr. Lombard.
Interesting. Very interesting. Oh, wait. This way. Alright. We already know this guy. He's just gonna be mean.
Any truth to the accusation against you?
Look, Narracott, if that's what you want to call yourself. The rules have changed. Can't you see that? The past is past. It's the present we should be worrying about. Something is not right here.
Will you tell me how it
Will you tell me how it happened?
All right. Perhaps I was doing the odd favor for the Purcells. But if your brother was framed, I had nothing to do with it. Yes, they paid me to perjure myself about Landor.
That sounds like you had
Thanks to them,
something
I was
to do
able
with
to
it.
put enough away to set up my own detective agency. Nothing fancy, but I've been straight ever since, I swear.
Landor died.
He got penal servitude for life and died in Dartmoor a year later. Not my fault he was such a delicate man.
What brought you here to Shipwreck Island?
I run a little detective agency in Plymouth these days. I'm on a job. To protect Mrs. Owen's jewels, the letter said. Mrs. Owen, my foot. I don't believe there's any such person.
Good evening, Mr. Bloor.
And last but not least. Let's ask about Miss Claythorne.
I overheard you mention St. Trednick to Miss Claythorne.
I was staying at a seaside hotel near St. Trednick this same week of August 4 years ago. That boy Cyril Hamilton drowned near there. It was the talk of the town. His half-brother was much older. Hugo, I think his name was. Cyril was a vile child, by all accounts, but first in line for the family title and estates. When he died, it all went to Hugo. He was just about Miss Claythorne's age. There was talk of something between them.
You're suggesting Vera let the boy drown so the man she loved could inherit?
Sounds like it.
That would be idle gossip. I don't indulge in idle gossip. I've only told you the facts of the case as I remember them.
Well, what about you?
Any truth to the accusation against you?
I have always acted in accordance with the dictates of my conscience. I have nothing with which to reproach myself.
Okay, well, I guess tell me how it happened anyway.
Will you tell me how it happened?
It was some time before I found out she was what they call in trouble. Her parents were decent folk, too. I'm glad to say they did not condone her behavior when I told them of it.
What happened to Beatrice?
Naturally, I did not keep her an hour under my roof. No one shall ever say that Emily Brent condoned immorality.
How did she die?
Not content with having one sin on her conscience, she committed a still graver sin. She took her own life, threw herself in the river. If she had behaved like a decent young woman, she'd be alive today.
You have
Your
no
opinion?
regrets?
She made an excellent breakfast. I miss that. Fresh juice every day.
It's cold. Oh my gosh.
What brought you here to Shipwreck Island?
I received a letter with a signature that was not very easy to read. It purported to be from a woman I'd met at a certain summer resort 2 or 3 years ago. I am quite certain I have never met or become friendly with anyone of the name of Owen.
I won't
And
take
yet
up any more of your
came
time, Miss
here
Brent.
anyway. Interesting. All right. What shall we do? We know this doesn't work. Well, we have to find a way to make it work later. I think we talked to everybody. I think the only person we didn't talk to is Mrs. Rogers, but she's, you know, incapacitated at this moment. Unless we're supposed to go talk to her. Let's see if we can go talk to her. I definitely took the long way around that way. Alright, let's walk all the way around the stairs. Let's see if we can talk to Mrs. Rogers. If not, then I guess there's something we're slightly missing somewhere. Yeah, now she's incapacitated.
The time for talk has passed.
The time. So dramatic. Alright, so we have to figure out, I guess, what we're supposed to do next. Kitchen. You know, I never did get my sandwich. They were supposed to make me a sandwich. I never did. I guess I just starve. Wonder if there's anything that's all still perfectly normal. Doesn't seem to be anything else to look at. It's the diary. Actually, did we read the diary? I forgot. Did we? I don't... Okay. Whole section of the house isn't really important to me anymore. I rarely venture past the game room. Despite his feeble protest, I know he wouldn't really want me invading his private sanctum. Really, you could not find more... Okay, so there is a secret passageway. I told y'all there was a secret passageway in there. There's always a secret passageway in a library. I often wonder if Elmer has any sense at all. He might as well live at sea. It's the only place where he seems control. Truly, the albatross is the most graceful bird in motion. The photograph does it absolutely no justice. So the bird. Okay, so these must be the people that owned the house prior to these Owen people. He changed his ways, and soon he might discover me. Elmer tried to get me on the schooner again this afternoon. Really made his dogs absurd. Bottomless pit. So she's scared the person that was in the picture. So that must be Elmer, and then this is, I guess, the wife. And she was not happy about living over here. No matter how large our seaworthy is, still more than belief people. Reason eventually we are selling the house to Gabrielle Steele, the actress. Gabrielle Steele, the actress, and moving back to the mainland. Okay. So I told him I can certainly bear it, knowing I never have to go near another island. To point out, England is an island. Very funny. I cannot say I'm much taken with Miss Steele. She sauntered through the house today as if she already owned it, practically ignoring us. I mean, you're selling it. You can't be mad at someone for sauntering. You're selling it. She came with two small bookish men who followed her around like lapdogs. One of them was furiously taking notes as the diva dictated her grandiose plans for parts of the house, making no secret of her dislike of certain aspects, my precious birds, her ideas for modeling. A screening room, I can imagine her spending countless hours there watching her own films, basking in her own bugs. I mean, if you're an actress, you probably are going to enjoy watching the movies. A lot of time and effort goes into making those, I'm sure. Alright. So, the diary did not help us, other than giving us more background of the house. Can we look at this? Can we take... Oh.
Interesting history Shipwreck Island has. I studied up on it before I came down.
What are the names of those two people I'm accused of killing?
John and Lucy Combs. I made a note of it.
Must have been a couple of kids I ran over near Cambridge. Beastly bad luck.
For them or for you?
Well, I was thinking for me, but of course you're right, sir. It was damned bad luck on them. Of course it was a pure accident. They rushed out of some cottage or other. Beastly nuisance. English roads are hopeless, of course. Can't get up a decent pace on them. Well, anyway, it wasn't my fault.
I guess we're just standing here now. Okay, possible cutscene. Frozen cutscene, possibly. We can't do anything. What is it? Oh, no, it's just a cutscene. Okay. Oh, is it our first death? Look at those fingers.
This man is dead.
Thank you, Doctor. You're gonna tell me how it happened. Yes, I am new to streaming. Was Marston poison? Well, I'm gonna go with poison because we already know some crazy stuff is going on here.
Was Marston poisoned?
Can't say exactly. Everything points to one of the cyanides. No distinctive smell of prussic acid. Probably potassium cyanide. It acts pretty well instantaneously.
Well, we already asked if he was poisoned, so I guess he would have choked to death. Was there something in the whiskey? Could he have been murdered?
Could he have been murdered?
Not my line of country. I'm a doctor, not a detective.
Okay. So, I guess we have to ask him all of the options?
Did Marston choke to death?
You can call it choking if you like. He died of asphyxiation right enough.
Did you know Marston before he arrived here today?
Not I. Personally or professionally.
Was there something in the whiskey?
Yes, without a doubt.
Do you think it was suicide? Why would you?
What do you think that record means?
A disgraceful and heartless practical joke, I suppose.
Well, I guess we're gonna
Do you
ask him
think it
anyway.
was suicide?
Seems like it.
If you'll excuse me, Doctor.
I guess we're gonna see what the judge has to say. Do you think it was suicide?
Do you think it was suicide?
You conduct yourself well, Mr. Narracott, if you don't mind my saying so. Mr. Blore has told us that you are not what you appear, yet you told him you were not a detective.
No, sir. But I've read many detective novels. I even had one of those junior detective kits when I was a boy. Magnifying glass, fingerprint powder.
Junior detective kit. Wonderful.
Ah, an amateur sleuth, then. You appear to have something of a gift for it.
About the suicide, Judge.
I'm not yet prepared to offer an opinion.
So we have an actual private detective that's also a criminal, but he's going to criticize us. Okay.
Did you know Marston before he arrived here today?
I knew his father, the Duke, and his elder brother. Like so many younger sons of his class, Anthony Marsden was a bit of a wastrel, as you will have gathered. There were other rumors of late, of his dabbling in politics, but this is not the proper forum for that discussion.
What do you think that record means?
May I answer that in a moment after asking a question of my own?
Go for it.
Of course.
Does anyone know Mr. Owen's full name?
My letter
Ulrich
was signed only
something.
UN.
Ulrich
Yes.
Norman.
UN Owen. Or, by a slight stretch of fancy,
Yeah, I know. We already put that
unknown.
together.
I'll now answer your question, Mr. Narracott. The name, the recording, the circumstances under which all but you were lured to this island. I have no doubt in my mind that we have been invited here by a madman, very possibly a dangerous homicidal lunatic.
Thanks for following, Tommy.
Why did you retire, Judge?
I know there was talk about my competence, even my ego running wild, but the truth of it is very simple. My health. A lifetime sentencing my fellow man, and now a higher power has passed judgment on me.
Thank you kindly, Judge.
So I'm assuming we're going to be viewed as the prime suspect since we weren't on the recording, but also we weren't supposed to be here, so... So basically all we've done right now, just to catch you up, and yeah, this is a super old game. I played it years ago when I was a kid, so I'm really excited I was able to find it. But all you've missed is literally this is the first murder that just happened. We snooped through everybody's room. I'm not sure when exactly you started watching, but we snooped through everybody's room, read a bunch of their letters on why they were all here, and now we're questioning everybody on if they knew this guy before he died. Just a brief summary catch-up. And apparently asking them all if he committed suicide, which I do not understand. Who's gonna commit suicide in the middle of the room?
Do you think Marston committed suicide?
Yes.
Okay,
In
apparently
my
she thinks
experience,
so.
certain types of individuals, when faced with their sin, will then commit the greater one.
Alrighty, I guess,
Did
did
you know
when?
Marston before he arrived here today?
No.
Okay, so abrupt.
What do you think that record means?
There is something very peculiar about it.
I won't take up any more of your time, Miss Brent.
Well, she was less than helpful. We don't like him, but we're gonna talk to him anyway.
Do you think Marston committed suicide?
I shouldn't have said Mr. Marston was a suicidal type of gentleman at all.
Did you know Marston before he arrived here today?
Never clapped eyes on him. And who gave you the authority to question us?
You're under no obligation to answer me.
Exactly. Yeah, but we're gonna keep questioning them anyway, and they're somehow gonna keep answering us.
What do you think that record means?
I don't like it. Not one bit. Very queer, the whole situation.
Thanks, Blore.
I will also be uploading the recording to YouTube later on, so if you want to catch it from the beginning and catch up, you can. See, I would be asking everyone, do you think someone murdered him? But I guess we're just going with the suicide angle.
Suicide?
He didn't seem particularly remorseful. Of course, the record might have set him off somehow. A new incident long after the fact may create a strong feeling of guilt or fear. Wouldn't you say, Doctor?
Possible. Quite possible.
Did you know Marston before he arrived here today?
Heard of him, but we'd never crossed paths or swords.
What do you think that record means?
There is something wrong with this entire weekend, and especially with our host, Mr. Owen.
I believe we're all coming around to that conclusion.
Yes, but I know something you don't, Judge.
What is that?
I recognize the voice on that recording, and it was definitely not Mr. Owen.
Who was it?
Not so fast, Narracott. Not until I think things through a bit more.
Thanks for your time, Mr. Lombard.
Yes, let's announce that we have knowledge and then not share it with everybody. So I guess we know who's gonna die next. Let's see. And we're still asking everyone. You know what? Nat, we're
Do
gonna...
you think Marston
same line
committed
of questioning.
suicide?
You'd never think he would kill himself. He was so alive.
Most people
When he
are
came down the
before
hill
they
in his
die.
car, he looked... Oh, I can't explain.
Let's see. We'll just ask them all. I don't
Did you
really
know
see why
Marston
not.
before he arrived here today?
No. I'm sure I would have remembered.
Steady, Miss Claythorne. The lad had his faults, you know.
What do you think that record means?
It was unfair, what it said. Very unfair.
You seem to be a remarkably perceptive girl, Miss Claythorne.
Why, thank you, Mr. Narracott.
Is there anything you can tell me about our fellow castaways?
Castaways? You make it sound so...
Romantic?
Oh
I was
my
going
God.
to say dramatic. Let me see. No one has confided any secrets to me, I'm afraid. Oh, except one.
That is...
I really don't know you well enough to answer you.
Thank you for your time.
I feel like that shouldn't have been a question we asked right now. I feel like that's an odd question to ask. We're gonna ask the
Do you
general.
think it was suicide?
How dare you? My wife died of natural causes, sir. A long illness, nothing more.
I meant Marston.
Marston? No honor in him that I could see.
Okay.
Did you know Marston before he arrived here today?
No, I don't think so. Not a military man, I'd wager. Lombard now. He reminds me of someone from my command. But the name wasn't Lombard.
Ooh. Do we think he might actually know
What do you
him?
think that record means?
Ugly. After 30 years. Ugly thing to say.
Thank you, General. Stay well.
Where have you been, Rogers?
I went to check on my wife, sir. She is resting comfortably. But I'm afraid I have some distressing news.
Oh?
One of the china figures of a sailor boy has been broken off.
Chapter 2. 9 little sailor boys sat up very late. One overslept himself, and then there were 8.
Alright, so our first murder, our first dead sailor boy. I think we know the trend.
Filthy night. I
picking
tried
off
to go
people.
out to get some more wood for the fire, but the wind drove me back.
A storm like that will keep us all indoors.
My apologies for the accommodations, Mr. Narracott, but all the beds are taken.
Makes one wonder where the Owens were planning to sleep, doesn't it?
A good servant follows instructions, sir. He does not question his employer, unless you'd like to share the deceased's room with the corpse.
This will do fine. Thank you, Rogers.
I'll wish you a good night then, sir.
Everyone should be sound asleep by now. Good time for a little stealth work.
So I guess we're gonna go snoop through everyone's rooms again while they sleep, even though we already snooped through them twice. I want to read this. Okay, so 1 choked. So the next one. 9 little sailor boys sat up very late. 1 overslept himself, and then there were 8. Ooh, so someone's getting suffocated in their sleep? Probably next. Okay, so this one says traveling in Devon. One said he'd stay there, and then we're 7. We, somewhere in the library, there was something about Devon. We might, actually, that might be in one of our notes here. Whoops, not what I wanted to do. Devon's shores. And the history of South Devon coast. So, when we get over to Sailor Boy 8, we might read into some of those. I guess we're gonna go snoop in the rooms again. And see if anything magically appeared while these people are sleeping. Which is honestly amusing because we checked all their rooms earlier.
It's really dark up there. I need a light source.
We're gonna have to find a flashlight. My money is on the kitchen having a flashlight. Seems like a logical place for a kitchen.
It's too dark to move around in there without stumbling.
So it has to be in plain sight, because apparently I can't go anywhere without one. Is there a drawer I can open that would have a flashlight? Can I look at this? Is there a flashlight over here? Ooh. I can take those, apparently.
I don't think that's appropriate.
Just dismantling things. I bet those little sockets go into the broken radio. I wonder if it'll let me turn it on. Let's find out. Small vacuum tube. Aha!
It's got power, but it still doesn't seem to be working.
I thought that would work. Oh well. Maybe not. We'll keep those on us for now. Okay, light source. Ever heard of a candle, sir? Is there nothing we can grab here? I guess we can check the game room. Let's actually check here. I didn't think there was anything here. Yeah. Oh, oh. That's the glass from Marston, so we'll probably get evidence off that later. Let's see. Can I find flashlight? Anywhere. Any flashlight will do. Maybe it'll let me go in here. Flashlight? Okay, so we know there's a
Wargrave
secret...
on Justice. I can only imagine the egotism that lurks within those pages.
So we searched this pretty thoroughly earlier. And I didn't see a flashlight, but I guess... we can check again. And make sure. I know this one's still locked.
The drawer's locked.
See nothing. Oops. No, go back.
A rather beautifully made globe of the world.
I don't think we
It
can...
won't help
yeah,
my
we can
brother
go
if I'm
outside yet.
drowned in the storm.
So we can't go upstairs because we need a light source. And we can't go anywhere else. Where is flashlight? Flashlight. Should be the start to find flashlight. Clicking on
A rather
everything.
beautifully
Okay.
made globe of the world.
Apparently if we keep randomly clicking, we'll accidentally click the same thing multiple times. Okay. We don't already have one, do we? We have a lamp. We have matches. Can I use the matches as a light source?
Interesting ashtray. Birds everywhere. It's locked
Okay,
fast.
it's still locked. Where is a light source? Well,
It's really dark
yeah,
up
I
there.
know. Can
I
we...
need a light source.
Let's see if we can use the matches. Can I use the
I
matches?
don't think that's appropriate.
The house isn't that big. Okay, I can grab something here. I think it's just cane, though. Yep, just a cane. Super not helpful. Need a light source.
Fresh flowers. Quite pretty. It's an albatross. I can't say I'm particularly fond of the painting. The subject matter doesn't interest me.
Can
The
we
storm is
no,
kicking up
can't
something
go out front
fierce.
door either.
Besides, my time would be better used snooping around inside at the
Well,
moment.
we're trying to find a light source, sir. Ah, a candle. That is a good idea.
I can't see anything of interest.
I need to find a candle. Maybe there's a candle somewhere. Please have a candle in here.
A place for everything and everything in its place.
Ah, flashlight. We have been granted success without batteries. Does that mean I have to find the batteries now? Oh my heavens. Okay. If I were batteries... Oh, wait, we have that lamp. No, that's lamp with bulb. I thought it was lamp with batteries. Darn it. I'm gonna try it anyway. No, I know it's probably not gonna work.
Those don't work together.
Yeah, I figured. Okay, we are now looking for batteries. Can I only look at this? Can I
Place
not?
for everything and everything in its
But there's
place.
so many drawers. There could be batteries in there.
It's a rather ostentatious painting.
Well, at least we were able to find a flashlight, although a candle would have been a solid option. Honestly thought there would be a candle over by the fireplace. Okay. But we searched everywhere. It shouldn't be this hard. Yeah, we already took that out of that. That wasn't batteries anyway.
No need to call unnecessary attention to my snooping.
I think it's a little late for that. We've literally stolen sheets. Is there something that has batteries in it? I don't think this does, because we've opened this a million times. This is just the fireplace. We found matches earlier. Nothing. This is becoming redundant. Okay. So we've checked the dining room. I wonder if I can get to the kitchen through the dining room, because I couldn't get to it through the back. So I didn't actually try. But if it let us go into the dining room, maybe it'll let us go into the kitchen, and maybe the batteries are in the kitchen. Interesting, I can get to it from here and not from the other spot. Alright.
Copper pots, just as I'd expect. I don't need to lug this around with me. No need to call unnecessary attention to my snooping. The larder is very well stocked.
So no batteries in the pantry.
The larder is very well stocked.
Apparently we can steal sugar.
It's a full sack of flour.
Can I do anything with that? Can I scoop the flour? So help me if there's batteries in the flour.
There are some batteries
my
buried
gosh.
under here.
Who puts batteries in the flour? Okay.
Excellent. Like hand in glove.
Yep. Already. Glad we figured that out. Don't store your batteries in the flour. But I guess if you don't want anyone to find it, it's a solid location. Oh, good. It automatically lets us use it. We don't have to, like, switch to it. Up the stairs we go. Let's go snoop.
Locked.
I mean, I would expect all of these rooms would be locked, let's be honest.
It's locked fast.
If someone was just murdered, I'd lock my door too. But apparently this guy doesn't play locks.
He's as tight as an owl. I expect nothing could wake him up.
Good, I can rummage.
I don't think going through that
Okay.
would help. Either he's innocent, in which case I'd be grossly invading his privacy, or he's guilty, and surely wouldn't be daft enough to leave any evidence in his luggage.
Or he wants you to think that. And we can't look at this anymore. We were able to look at that earlier, so. I wonder if we can get to the other room this way. Maybe she didn't lock her balcony door, or he, or whoever's room this is. It's really not afraid. Gotta love the British, though. Nope, no, I didn't want to go out the door. Go back inside. I guarantee you he's gonna say the same thing if I click on this luggage.
It would certainly
Yep.
be noticed if I rifled through his luggage. I better not.
So us stealing all of their letters, us stealing his pipe, and taking all of their stuff isn't noticeable, but opening their luggage somehow is. That makes perfect sense.
No need to call unnecessary attention to my snooping.
We stole flour, but we can't steal that. Makes perfect sense.
It's tightly locked.
We are inside the room. You can unlock it. I guess we're gonna have to go out the other side. Okay, so Wargrave and Armstrong's rooms are connected to each other. I'll have to remember that. I'm trying to remember whose rooms are where. Because I know it's gonna be relevant later.
It's locked fast.
And that's locked as well. Anything worth investigating? No? Okay. We should probably go investigate the, servants' quarters, because I feel like they would have stuff. That's just a radiator.
It's modern. I don't like it personally, although I suppose it fits in with the rest of the house.
This house is hardly modern, sir.
I guess Owen made sure no clocks in the house are working. This one is stopped.
So you want to keep people unapprised of time.
It's a chair. It doesn't look very comfortable.
The things you can observe in this game are hilarious. Oh, wait, where's the dead guy's room? We should go find him. Because they said his corpse was on the bed. So we need to figure out who died. Marston died. I don't know whose room is whose, to be honest. I know we technically made a note, took everyone's note out of their rooms, so now I don't know whose rooms are whose. This is a lovely patio. My gosh, I wish I had this house. Must be nice. Minus the murder. Oh, we're just gonna steal it. No one's gonna let me look at it, but I guess we're just gonna steal the telescope. That makes sense. We're just gonna go into some rooms. We'll stumble upon the room eventually. Ah, Vera's room. This isn't creepy at all. Just creepily be in somebody's room. That's not stalkerish behavior at all. Okay, and that picture, I guarantee you, is that Hugo guy.
I think I recognize this lady. Perhaps she owned the house in the past. Who knows? She may still.
Oh, I don't really know who owns the house, so it's a solid guess. Anything interesting in the bathroom?
I'm guessing Ethel went through the trouble of supplying most of the rooms with fresh flowers.
Expecting something above these doors.
A radiator. You can't have enough of them, really.
Oh, we're thinking I'm looking at the toilet, he's looking at the radiator. That's funny. Okay, nothing.
Morning is coming. I'd best get back to my bed.
Okay, I guess that's all the snooping for now.
Well, I didn't get much rest, but at least I have something to show for it.
What do we have to
I'd
show
best see
for
if
it?
everyone has come down for breakfast.
I didn't even find the dead guy's room. I mean, I guess I got some batteries out of some flour. Alright, let's go see who's down for breakfast. I really need to find Marston's room. See if there's any evidence on his person.
If what Narracott told Vera is true, and mind you, I take anything he says with a grain of salt, then they will not be sending a boat until at least Monday, even if the storm clears.
Wise to remember, Narracott's the odd man out here.
Yes, thanks to you, I believe, Blore.
At least nothing else has occurred.
I hope you are correct, Miss Claythorne. However, I feel compelled to draw your attention to this table's centerpiece.
Now 2 are broken. How
Wait,
odd.
who's the second dead person?
Mr. Narracott, good morning. Since Mr. Marsden won't be joining us, there is an extra place for breakfast, although breakfast itself seems to be a trifle behind schedule.
I'm afraid there is no breakfast at present. Mrs. Rogers has not been able to carry on this morning.
What's the matter with the woman? I was promised fresh apple juice this morning.
I'm guessing she's flown.
I must tell you a sad piece of news. Mrs. Rogers died in her sleep.
Well, see, I thought by reading the poem I could preemptively figure out who was gonna die, but that apparently not. Alright, let's question everybody again.
Any theories about Mrs. Rogers' death?
She was a very skittish creature. And she had a shock last night. It might have been heart failure.
Her heart certainly failed to beat. What caused it to fail is the question.
Did you hear anything last night? And I don't mean me stalking in your room.
Did you hear anything in the night?
No, my sleep was quite restful.
A pleasure as always, Miss Claythorne.
Didn't have to flirt every time.
Any theories about Mrs. Rogers' death, Judge?
I'm afraid it confirms my opinion that there is something very wrong on this island. It occurs to me that if these 2 deaths were not suicides or accidents, that Mr. Owen may very well be responsible. If so, he is almost certainly on this island somewhere.
I agree. I think we should find a way off this island immediately.
Did
you hear anything in the night?
I confess I slept fitfully. Marsden's death, the storm, but I heard nothing. Possibly also due to the storm.
Understandable, Judge. Quite understandable.
Mr. Narracott, can your boat be repaired?
I doubt very seriously it can be repaired. Mr. Blore did a good job.
Steady on. I didn't know then how the land lay, did I?
So you say.
If you find a means of leaving the island or of signaling the mainland, I'm sure we would all be in your debt.
Is there not
And I'm
a
sure
phone?
all of us would help in any way we could.
Here.
We're never going to leave the island. None of us are ever going to leave.
What were you hinting at concerning Marston's politics?
Only that he'd become mixed up with some foreigners. I think that's all I'd better say at present.
I appreciate your candor, Judge.
Let's see what he has to say.
What was the cause of death?
Impossible to say offhand.
There must be an autopsy.
I certainly couldn't give a certificate without one.
When did you find out?
Rogers roused me at first light. He'd gotten up to light the stove and see to the power generator before waking her. When she didn't respond, he got me.
Wonder if it would have changed anything if we actually went to the servants' quarters last night first. Probably not.
Can you tell when she died?
Without an autopsy, not for certain, but it must have been some hours ago. The body was, quite cold.
Did you hear anything in the night?
No, although it appears I should have.
That is all for now, Dr. Armstrong.
We're just asking, again, everybody.
Any theories about Mrs. Rogers' death?
We know that she consumed something last night. Dr. Armstrong told us so.
I, Mr. Lombard?
You gave her a sedative.
A small dose of Trianol, nothing more.
So
Doctors
you
have
say?
made mistakes before.
You're suggesting I accidentally gave Mrs. Rogers an overdose?
Accidentally or otherwise. One death may have been an accident or suicide, but two in the space of a few hours?
Seems
Simply
unlikely.
outrageous. Man of my standing.
Any more questions, Mr. Narracott?
Yes, several, actually. And also, he was already accused of killing somebody accidentally as a doctor, so...
You said you recognized Owen's voice.
I've had time to think it over, and I'm sure I did. But I see no reason to share that information with you.
Well, you're not very helpful.
Did you hear anything in the night?
I'm a very light sleeper. In future, I hope everyone will bear that in mind. Yes, several times I heard something.
You didn't
It's
investigate.
probably me.
With a judge, a detective, and an amateur sleuth in the house, you hardly need my poor skills in that line. I prefer to keep watch.
But you
The
did keep
hunter
watch.
in his blind.
A
'Cause
good
someone
analogy,
died.
Judge.
Thanks for your time, Mr. Lombard.
That guy's very unhelpful. Alright. Let's see what she has to say.
Any
since
theories
she's
about
so
Mrs. Rogers' death?
uptight.
Conscience.
What do you mean by that?
Oh my heavens.
She was accused, together with her husband, of having deliberately murdered her former employer, an old lady. You all saw her last night. She broke down completely. The shock of her wickedness brought home to her was too much to bear. She literally died of fear.
Possibly, if there was cardiac weakness.
Call it, if you prefer, an act of God.
That is all, Miss Brett.
Yes, that is all. You are so not helpful.
General, you said you thought you recognized Lombard.
Did I? Yes, I expect I did. But I fail to see what business it might be of yours.
Well, I mean, we're trying to connect the dots here, see who knows who, you know. It's what detectives do.
Did you hear anything in the night?
I thought I heard a voice calling my name. My wife. She died several years ago. I expect it was a dream.
Any theories about Mrs. Rogers' death?
I'm sure Mrs. Rogers wasn't to blame. A good, loyal woman.
Good day to you, General.
And now we gotta talk to this asshole.
You're a detective, Mr. Bloor. Any theories?
I appreciate you recognizing the fact there's a professional present.
Oh,
I'd like to know what she had to eat or drink last night before she collapsed.
Rogers assures me she had nothing whatsoever.
Of course he would say that. But see here. They've done a murder and gotten away with it. Now she's all hysterical, likely to give the show away. She's a danger to her husband, that's what she is.
Oh, I should hardly think a man would do that to his wife.
so this particular guy doesn't like me because he supposedly... My brother supposedly committed a crime that he is claiming. I think he committed the crime, but he recognized me basically because I'm related to, obviously, the brother. He mistook me for the brother, and then he wrecked my boat so that I'd be trapped there because he wants to collect the reward. So that's why he doesn't like me. The other people don't like me because, I don't know, actually. I think they just are suspicious in general because, like, I'm there. And I'm the only person that wasn't on the recording when the Mr. Owen guy was going around accusing everybody of stuff. So I think they're just all uptight and a little mean. But this guy specifically, we have beef with him. That's why I don't like talking.
You said you knew something about the history of this island.
Most of the old stuff can be found in the library. Its more recent history is just as interesting, though. But I'm not inclined to divulge that just yet.
That is all for now, Mr. Bloor.
Chapter 3. 8 little sailor boys traveling in Devon. One said he'd stay there, and then there were 7.
We're already down 2 people. I didn't
Rogers
expect
didn't
us to
let his
kill
wife's
people
death get in
that
the way of
fast.
his custodial duties. I assume everyone has gone off on their own pursuits. I should do the same.
Well, I think my audio is working. Yes, okay. Alright.
Eight little sailor boys. The plot thickens.
Alright, anything new to discover? Oh. Let's see if we can go outside. I want to see if there's another house somewhere, because if someone else is supposedly on this island, they're clearly staying somewhere. Ah, look at that. People sitting down. I guess we can talk to them.
Nice to have a break in the weather, although I don't expect it will last.
You
So
don't seem
optimistic.
concerned by the 2 deaths.
I remember a text that hung in my nursery as a child. Be sure thy sin will find thee out.
So in some way, Marston's and Mrs. Rogers' sins have found them out?
Of course. I have nothing to fear. I've committed no sin. You, if your story is true, have only been protecting your brother. God's law understands such a loving gesture, even if man's law does not.
What are you knitting?
A shawl for my niece.
It's quite subdued for a girl, isn't it?
A man would say that, of course. She is a modest child, and decent. These colors are most appropriate.
You can be modest and still wear pink.
Have you seen Rogers?
He's in the kitchen, I think, preparing a cold supper.
I won't take up any more of your time, Miss Brent.
I think it's sad that of the fact that there are other people here. This Rogers guy just lost his wife and is expected to do all of the stuff still. Like, why aren't one of them stepping up to go cook? Let's see what we can explore outside. Ooh. Let's go this way. Good point. Boo for the lower class, apparently. But still, the man's wife died. For the Brent lady to be so holier than thou, you think she would be, you know, considerate? Caste system. Ooh, shed! Is someone, in fact, living on this island? Nope, just shed. But a note that we will read.
This could use a closer look.
Oh, it's fun. Dark memories haunting you. The fuel for pleasant thoughts must be found before all lies and ruin. So Mr. Owen just went around leaving all these notes. We can get a shovel. Can we get an axe? Oh, let me have an axe.
I can't walk around carrying an axe. They'll lock me up.
But
Or
I can
worse.
walk around carrying a shovel. Lantern? Yes. Want the axe? People are dying. We should have a way to defend ourselves. Oh, let me just put that in my pocket. Just, yeah. Okay. Bucket? Obviously generator. We are probably going to
The
need...
generator seems to be working fine. The generator seems to be working fine.
So since we can mess with this
The generator seems to be
The
working
little
fine.
hand thing. At some point, this is going to go out. We are somehow going to be the ones that have to go and turn this on. I guarantee you. And we're going to have to find fuel somewhere, so... Okay, so that just makes a little circle. Does this go a different direction? We come out on this side and go this way instead? It does. Oh, this is the back door. For that. Garden. Garden. I knew there was a way to... This looks too open. What can I... We're gonna take some hose with us. Where are we storing this? Just keeping it on our person. Walking. Okay, that just goes out to there where we already were. That goes to the kitchen. Alright. Let's see what else we can find. But there's definitely, like, enough of this island someone could easily be hiding out somewhere. We know there's a secret passageway from that note. So it's likely whoever is killing off these people or breaking off the little sailor boys in the dining room knows where that secret passageway is, which we will find.
Maybe Owen has wings and is perched someplace we can't reach.
Or swimming around out there with the fish.
Alright, have you seen Vera? Have you seen the General? Any idea how we can get off the island? Let's just ask.
You think you'll find Owen?
If he's here, we'll find him.
Why don't you split up?
I suggested that.
The island isn't that big. I felt it was good to stick together to be sure every inch has been covered.
Do we have to ask all the questions?
Any conclusions?
Only that I'm damn glad I brought this along.
You have a gun? Why didn't you say something?
And we can't walk
I
around
would
with
have
an
used it
axe.
if necessary.
Still, I don't like it very much.
Well, I don't care very much.
Any idea how we can get off the island?
When I was... well, a friend of mine, actually. When he was in the army, he saw a new parachute design that allowed you to steer. If you like, I can draw you a plan to construct a parachute like the one he saw.
That would be splendid. Thank you.
One parachute per order. It's pretty crude, but I think you'll get the idea. I added a list of materials, too.
Thanks.
Guarantee you this is what we're gonna need those stolen sheets for. Very
Have you seen Vera?
weird thing to steal.
Miss Claythorne was up on Ship Rock when we searched up there.
You look tired.
You look tired.
Miss Claythorne's concern for my well-being moves me far more than yours, Narracott. But thanks all the same.
Have you seen the General?
He was down on that little beach to the south of Ship Rock. He's definitely gaga, if you ask me.
Like he was in a trance, talking to his wife, asking her forgiveness. Creepy. He sent that Richmond fellow to his death for playing up to the missus. Make no mistake about that.
That'll be all, Mr. Lombard.
Blor's always gotta say something, even if we're not talking to him. Alright, let's go find Vera, I guess. Up the— oh, actually. Okay, so we have option for up here, and probably option for down here. Let's, I guess let's go to the beach and find the General, because he seems unstable, and we should probably make sure he doesn't go drown himself or something.
The waves are crashing here with particular violence.
I guess I walked the wrong way. There he is.
Nice peaceful spot you found for yourself, sir.
There is so little time. So little time.
I'm making a tour of the island, so to speak.
Quite the adventurer, aren't you?
Trying to find a killer.
Have you seen anything that might be useful to us?
You don't understand. You don't understand at all. I'm not sorry I came here. No, it was time. I'm content at last. It feels very strange to come to the end, not have to go on. I know now I will never leave. That's peace. Real peace.
Thank you, General. Stay well.
Well, I guess he'll die. Doesn't seem to want to live very much. And there's nothing we can do to make him go back to the house, so I guess he's just gonna be there. Onward to the next path. Oh my. Directionally impaired me is not liking these path options. Let's just go up. See what circles around where. I figured this would be the little upper part of that cliff, but I guess not. Probably should have gone left. Oh, we found the apiary. And apples. Guess we can make Miss Brent her apple juice.
I need to subdue the bees first. They'll do me in for sure if I disrupt their artificial home.
I guess we're gonna need to find a way to make the bees go to sleep. I don't have anything currently, do I? Lantern. No, doesn't look like it. Keep on walking, sir. This is a very large island. Oh. More choices. Okay. Let's keep going straight. I'm sure one of these will move back around. The other one probably goes to the house, maybe? We will have to find a way to create smoke.
Not many apples in this orchard. I suppose I'd blame the lack of sun. There are some suitable-looking apples up near the top of this tree, but I can't reach them.
We have a ladder, sir. We most certainly can reach them. Because you put a ladder in your back pocket for no reason. I don't know what we can use to make... I bet we use the hose and then something else to make smoke. Okay, so now we have two things of apples. Yes. And we can no longer pick up that. And I just found out if you double click, you can run! You can actually walk faster in this game. Okay, how many branches off of the road are there?
Sunflowers. Odd. It doesn't seem like this island gets much in the way of sun.
There's a goat. What's the goat mean? Yes, the goat is mean. Can I give the goat
That
apples?
goat is a menace.
Let's see. No. Okay. Well, I thought it was a solid opportunity. Flower! Because, you know, goats.
This is neither the time nor the place.
Look, goats eat anything, sir. Okay? Well, we've got tobacco. Maybe... maybe we use the tobacco and the matches to light a fire into something and then use the hose to calm the bees. I guess we're gonna have to find something to lure the goat away. I don't have anything. Cheese? Cheese? No, that was cheesecloth. It's not actual cheese. It's a cheese wheel covered in cheesecloth. Can I separate them?
That
I
came apart
can.
rather easily.
I actually didn't think I could separate that. Can I give the goat cheese?
I don't think that's appropriate.
Okay. Apparently not. Let's put that there. Well, we'll go back the other way. So nice now that I figured out I can run. Let's go this way. More goats.
Goats? They look hungry.
I tried to give them apples. Can these goats have apples? No? No? Can I separate this
Some
up?
things,
No.
once done, cannot be undone.
I mean, I'm just trying to separate the apples.
Perhaps another time.
I'm getting
This
the idea.
thicket is rife with thorns. I can't get through it.
The goats are going to eat their way through it. What do I put on it to make the goats eat it? Can I put something on it to make the goats eat it? We will find something to put on it. Maybe I go make some apple juice and pour it on it. That's where we came from. Ooh,
It's an old
Noisy.
windmill. Impossible to say what it powers, if anything.
I can't do anything with it. Ooh. Tunnel. Okay, wait, this is the beach. So then where does this go? Oh, this just goes back to the library. Okay, so if we go this way, we go back to the beach, and then don't go straight. Go another direction. Okay, so we went up last time, that took us to the bees. Okay, I see where we're diving. Okay, so this must be the cliff. Yep. Anything to look at other than... Nope, just talk to her.
It seems so close. As if I could almost jump across and leave this island behind me.
No, it doesn't seem that
I'd hate
close.
for you to jump, Miss Claythorne. I'd miss you.
Oh my!
I think I'd miss you too.
Would you know? Let's see.
I'm sorry the job here didn't work out for you.
It was only temporary. I want to be a teacher, not a secretary. I want another chance to teach more than anything in the world.
Think someone on shore could see us?
If they used a telescope like the one on the patio outside my room, I expect they
We
might.
be the one we stole.
What do you think of Lombard?
I think he's like last night's storm. Dark and wild and possibly dangerous.
But you like him even so.
I love storms.
Oh.
Have you ever been in love?
I thought I was. I thought I could do anything for him.
What happened?
His brother died.
I'd rather not talk about it, if you don't mind.
We already know what happened.
Tell me about yourself.
Mr. Narracott, would you think me terribly rude if I just wanted to stand here and look at the scenery before the next storm closes in?
No, I'm sorry I bothered you.
Oh, you didn't bother me. Quite the contrary. But now I'd just like to enjoy the scenery.
Like how there's all of these people on the island and we're just focused on flirting with this girl. Like, you could just mind your business, sir. Leave the woman alone. Alright, back to the house. Let's see if we can find anybody else. And the way to subdue these bees. So we have bees that we have to do something about. Good point. He really should have offered his coat. That would have been the proper thing to do. Again, some people really don't get cold. I am not some people. I am always cold. Unless it's hot, then I'm always hot. I have no ability to control my own... regulate my body temperature, so whatever temperature it is what I am. It's cold outside, I'm cold. It's hot, I'm hot. Alright. I still want to find this corpse. Okay, we know this is not the corpse's room, because that's Wargrave's room, that's bathroom. Armstrong's room. Don't remember whose room this is, so we'll start here. Could it be? No, this is Blor's room. He's the jerk that framed our brother. Marston's room? Nope. Oh, this must be the Lombard, what's his name? No, that's bathroom. Vera's room. Where is the dead guy? This is Emily's room, right? Yes, she had the purple room. Maybe this is... No, this is the general's room. Oh my heavens. We're gonna go into every single room before we find the room we're looking for. Literally, if I walked this way instead. Yeah, this is his room. Okay, let's see if we can find anything off the dead body.
Better to let the dead rest in peace.
All that and we can't even examine the body? Really? Okay. That was unnecessary. Still a really close-up shot of this briefcase for some reason. What am I not seeing on this briefcase? Nothing. There's nothing there. Can't open any of the drawers. Nothing in here. It's still
Nothing
just a
else to see
statue.
about that.
Why'd you look at it? All that effort, and I can't even look at the body, see if there's evidence. Ooh, do you think we can use the flower and get fingerprints off of Marston's glass?
There is no cause for that.
Okay, that was a good idea. Hey, wait.
Those don't work together.
Well, they should.
I can't get them to fit.
Okay, fine. I thought I had a good idea going there. Oh well. Alright. I guess we'll go check on Rogers. Poor chap lost his wife.
The body was thoroughly searched. No need to disturb it now.
Who thoroughly searched it? Because it wasn't us. See if there's anything in the bed. Ooh, we can look at the stuff here. Literally, we can just look at it. There's nothing to see. Okay. Maybe something will appear here later that we can get. Alright, to the kitchen! See if we can, find Rogers. Already looked at that. Let's talk to him.
Hello, Rogers.
Hello, sir. Was there anything you required?
That sandwich you
Just
never
looking
gave
around.
me last time.
That ham looks good.
Mrs. Rogers had a way with hams. Baked, boiled, fried, pickled, en casserole. Always a treat.
When will dinner be ready? Your wife is dead, but let's just...
Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary since you arrived here at Rogers?
Just this, sir. This house is more like a museum than a residence. I've dusted every square inch, and I've found articles left behind by many previous owners, including the Robsons, that actress, and even the Admiralty. The only owners who seem to have left no mark at all are Mr. and Mrs. Owen.
Because they haven't been here yet.
When will dinner be ready?
Guess we're gonna have to ask
8
them
o'clock,
anyway.
sir. Or close to it.
Good
Did
day
I-
to you, Mr.
Was
Rogers.
just breakfast like a few minutes ago? Alright, I wanna see if we can make this woman
I need
her
to put something
apple-
down to filter the pulp.
Okay, well. Cheesecloth. Glass. Apples. Can I make apple juice now?
I need something here to use as a
Oh
crossbar.
my gosh! Do I have anything? No. Great. Well, at some point we may be able to make apple juice. I dig
The
through
larder
the
is very well
flour
stocked.
again. Can I dig through the flour again? I swear. If I can actually find more stuff in the flour. No?
This is neither the time nor the place.
Well, you found batteries in there last night, sir. It was worth a shot. Let's see, what shall we do next? We've wandered all of outside. If anyone's in... Anyone in here? No. Gamer?
I asked Rogers what this Miss Brady had suffered from. In a certain form of cardiac trouble, when an attack comes on, an ampule of amyl nitrate is broken and inhaled. If amyl nitrate were withheld,
I see. No positive action must be taken. No arsenic to obtain and administer. Nothing definite at all.
and nothing could be proved against Rogers or his wife.
It explains our situation here quite neatly. There are crimes that cannot be brought home to their perpetrators by the usual methods.
A judge taking advantage of his position? No offense, Judge.
A doctor under the influence letting a scalpel slip? No offense, Doctor. The point is, it explains Mr. Unknown. He has, for reasons only he knows, decided to seek justice for certain crimes as he sees them.
And who among us is the only one that stands unaccused?
Oh, here we come.
Ah, Mr. Narracott, right on cue.
Because we weren't supposed to be here. The asshole scuttled our boat, sir. It's not our fault.
Have you seen any of the others?
I believe Mr. Blore and Mr. Lombard are off searching the island for Mr. Owen.
Yes, we already met them.
You didn't want to join them?
They are men accustomed to physical activity. I prefer to search for the truth with my mind.
Me too.
You think they'll find Mr. Owen?
Not in the sense you mean.
Any idea how we can get off the island?
I've allowed you to continue your own investigations, Mr. Narracott, because I disagree that being the odd man out makes you more suspect. On the contrary. But I've given you a good deal of advice already. It would be well if you thought for yourself for a while and let us get on with our game.
Where would you search for Mr. Owen?
Closer to home.
Thank you kindly, Judge.
Do you think he'll have much else to say?
Have you seen any of the others?
Before we came in here, I saw Miss Brent knitting on the patio
Yes,
as if
we
she hadn't
already
a care in the
saw her.
world.
I guess we were supposed to go in, look inside before we went outside.
Could you perform an autopsy on Mrs. Rogers?
I could, sir, but I won't.
Oh,
As Mr. Lombard so helpfully pointed out, it might be thought I had something to do with her death. It would be unethical for me to operate.
How much Trianol is missing from your supply?
I wouldn't know. I left the bottle with Rogers in case his wife required a second draft.
Thank you for your time, Doctor.
Oh yes, that makes a lot of sense. Leave that with someone who doesn't know how to administer things. Seems feasible. Alright.
Locked.
That's still locked. Apparently that's just never gonna be unlocked. Alright. So... now what? I guess we'll have to go back upstairs. Because we searched everywhere outside. You know what? Let's see if we can get back into the, what side was it on? I think it's over here. Let's see if we can get back into that library. I know there's a secret passage in that library somewhere. Has to be. I wonder if we...
This is neither the time nor the place.
So we found all these books earlier, and I thought if we matched them up... Oh!
I think I heard a click. I could be imagining it, though.
Oh, you're not imagining it.
I think I heard a click. I could be imagining it, though.
Ha! Yes. Secret passage for the win. Okay, this is a real secret passage. This is a whole safe. Let's see what fun little note Mr. Owen left for us.
This could use a closer look.
And rumors can be ugly. Keep your secret. Haha, keep your secret safe. That's funny. Alright. British Admiralty. South 1769. Ooh, do we get to put the little bolts
That
in?
isn't going to help.
Why? Why is it not going to help? Oh, wrong size.
It's a shortwave radio. It could be useful if I could get it working. It seems to be missing quite a few parts. This is an odd sort of power cord. Doesn't seem to fit into a regular socket.
Define quite a few parts. Can I use the lamp? Does it plug into the lamp? No. Okay. It was a good thought. Sort of. So we're looking for parts for this.
Boxes. Nothing of use in them. Boxes. Nothing of use in them.
Nothing of use in you either. Oh, goodness. Let's see. We had a code thing.
Those don't work together.
Well, you know, it literally says coded message and code breaking cipher. It seemed like they would.
Let me examine this further.
Alright. I don't think this is the code I was looking for. We're gonna try it. I don't know if it would be left or right first. Oh, and I can't have the little code up while I do this. I have a question. I doubt this is... I don't think this is it. Okay, well, we need a code, apparently.
The handle jiggles but won't open. I must have dialed in the wrong combination.
Surely there's a more direct combination for that. We have... the diary mentioning it. Whoops. See, the diary mentions the secret passageway. Let's see... but no code. Not depressing. Alright. So we need a code. We need parts. I guess that's how we'll signal them to come get us. So that'll we'll probably find parts later. Oh yeah, we need a key for this drawer. So many things to find. This is back outside. I guess we'll have to go back upstairs and snoop through all the rooms again. A lot of room snooping, because we've explored everywhere outside. We explored all the downstairs. We've identified a bunker. We've talked to all the people. So there must be something upstairs that triggers the next scene. Oh, we're just gonna go in everybody's room. Gotta be missing something. No, I don't think we are.
I find this painting particularly bland.
Looks like a mountain with a castle. Ooh, I can look at this again. Which randomly
Nothing out of order in here. I'd best not take anything, though. I'm sure he would notice.
Really? I can't.
Nothing out of order in here. I'd best not take anything, though. I'm sure he would notice.
Then why can I look at it? If I can't has. Pretty sure we pretty much went into everybody's room. What am I not finding? We've looked at the clocks. Who are we not stumbling upon?
Polished marble spheres and some books. Nothing worth investigating further.
In your opinion?
Another seabird. This one looks like an albatross. Shocking.
Well, the diary clearly stated this woman liked birds. Obviously, there's gonna be birds everywhere.
It's a chair.
Yes.
It doesn't look very comfortable.
Oh, and that's something I can look at. Another clock that's not working. I already saw this
I'd
guy.
almost swear I recognize that chap. Does he have the eyes of a killer?
Sure, that's that Hugo guy. Nothing. Nothing. Can I open her bag yet?
This is a fairly sparse makeup case. Vera isn't the type to use much makeup, though.
So opinionated, sir. Oh, that's it. That's all I can look at. Let's go this way. If I go in different doors, I'll find different things. I've already looked at all her stuff. We already stole her Bible. So worried about things going missing.
This is quite a makeup supply. Emily must be more concerned with aging than she lets on.
Or she's not Emily. Nothing. Nothing of interest. That's a picture of him and his wife.
It's a rather bland landscape.
Landscaping.
I see nothing remarkable.
Well, maybe if you looked closer. There's gotta be something. Ooh.
I see nothing remarkable.
Okay.
I see nothing remarkable.
Yeah. Then why are we in here, sir? Alright. Okay, and now we're back in Marston's room. That's the whole circle. What are we missing? Let's go downstairs. I wonder if I took the item... Hang on. We put that one thing out in the bunker for that radio. I wonder if we took the other one out, if that would work in the radio up here. Let's try that. I like how we're just leaving the secret passage open. Okay. If I take both of these out, Maybe I can listen to the radio upstairs. Because the other one didn't work. Wait, where did the other one go? Oh, it needed 3.
It needs something to improve the reception.
Well, sir. Wire basket.
This is neither the time nor the place.
Lamp? Oh. Okay. Guess we still haven't figured the radio out yet. How disappointing. We'll hold on to those because we're clearly gonna need them for other things. Alright. No one's sitting here. We've talked to everybody. We've gone through everyone's room. What am I missing? Can I make this play again? Will it do something else?
I don't think that's appropriate.
Oh, whatever.
That doesn't make sense.
That's where I took it out of! Okay.
I don't think that's appropriate.
Well, you know what?
No need to listen to this side again.
I'm afraid it's stuck that way.
Well, you said this side. I want
This
to turn
could use
over.
a closer look. I wonder what's recorded on this side.
There we go.
That isn't such a good idea.
I want to hear it.
That isn't going to help.
Okay, well, I guess we can't do that right now. I can't pick this back up, so I guess that'll happen later. I am clearly doing stuff out of order. I don't know what I'm
Fresh
doing out of order,
flowers.
though.
Quite pretty.
Okay. What am I missing? We've gone everywhere. We've done all the things. We've explored outside. We've stared at this.
8 little sailor boys. The plot thickens.
The plot does thicken. Rogers, call dinner, please.
Perhaps you'd find one of the guests with more free time to chat. None of them are doing any work.
Ooh. Scorn. Okay, well, maybe do I just have to go talk to everybody again? Yeah, we'll go explore. Maybe I missed something. We go back into the shed. Maybe I missed something in the shed. Oh, people!
Woodshed is empty.
This is a dead end. If Owen's buried under that woodpile, good riddance to him.
Where haven't you searched?
He must be hiding in the house. It's the only place left.
No, we've searched the house.
Have you searched the entire island?
Early days yet. Plenty of ground still to cover.
Pretty sure I covered it all.
Any luck at all?
There's no one on this island except our 9 selves.
That'll do, Mr. Bloor.
Mr. Bloor is such a jerk. Yeah, they mentioned woodpile. I must now see if we can do anything with this woodpile. Can I do anything with a shovel? We had a shovel. No? Okay. I really want the axe.
I can't walk around carrying an axe.
You can.
He'll lock me up, or
That-
worse.
That other guy has a gun. You can have an axe. This is just the generator. We already know that one. No, didn't miss anything in the shed.
No one's hiding in there. I'd stake my reputation on it.
I've done some hunting in my day for some very elusive game. If Owen's in that house, he must be invisible.
Have you reached any conclusions?
Maybe it was just an accident and a suicide. Or 2 accidents or 2 suicides for all I know.
Thanks, Blore.
Blore is just needs to stay out of it.
The wind is picking
cutscene.
up again, and there are white horses on the sea.
Has anyone seen the good doctor?
Here I am, Judge, just freshening up in my room before dinner.
How did your search go, Mr. Lombard?
Badly, Judge. I'm afraid I found nothing and lost Mr. Blore.
There's a squall moving in again. Shiprock's become quite windy.
Rogers? What is it, man?
The figure, sir. The figure's in the middle of the table. Look, now another's gone. There's only 7. It doesn't make sense. What's going on? What's happening?
Who
We can
died?
discuss this new development over dinner. It's ready, Rogers?
Yes, sir. It's only cold tongue and cold ham, sir.
We understand, Rogers.
Where's the general?
Last time I saw him was on that beach. You asked me about him, Narracut. Did you find him there?
Yes.
The guy
Did
on
he
the
say
beach is the
anything
general.
to you?
His mind was wandering.
Perhaps you'd be so good as to fetch the general, Mr. Narracott. We'll delay dinner for you both.
No need for that. He's dead.
And the general.
Down there on the beach, leaning against a rock like a stick of driftwood.
Chapter 4. 7 little sailor boys chopping up sticks. One chopped himself in halves, and then there were 6.
Rogers is a first-class butler. I'll say that for him.
Wife was a pretty good cook, too. Too bad we only got 1 meal out of her.
So
Ladies and
mean.
gentlemen, back to the business at hand. I'm going to ask Mr. Narracott to continue his investigation.
But he's the last one who saw the general alive.
The last one who is willing to admit to it. Mr. Narracott?
This guy is Mr. Blore. He's the guy that framed our brother. With that being said, though, we are going to end it here for today. I will be back streaming, most likely on Thursday night. But I will also have this uploaded on YouTube by then, and then we'll pick back up while we have a slight break since it switched over to another chapter. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. Again, thanks for the follow as well, Tommy, and we look forward to finishing this out and figuring out who's killing everybody.